Hello, folks. Welcome back to more VoD review. We've got day 7 of Swiss Stage. The first series was G2 versus T1 in what was, I'd say, not quite as close of a series as people were hoping for. But hey, game 2 was a banger. And I thought this was a fun one when I was watching this one live. So I'm excited to dive into these. As always, if you guys enjoy the content, subs help a lot. I'll be dropping World's VoD reviews throughout the entirety of the tournament. Likes and comments also help the channel. And follow me everywhere at CubbyXX, especially on Twitch, where you guys can join the conversation as we stream these live. So that said, let's hop on into this one. As we have, I mean, they started to call this a rivalry, which I think it's mostly T1 sided. But hey, for the Perks Caps era of G2, this truly was a rivalry. So I think it is nice and historical to capture that, especially 5 years after 2019, where G2 did beat T1, and it is in Europe once again, as it was back then. Anyway, diving into this one. Pick Spence. Kalista, Renata, and Braum all taken away. So a big focus on taking away some of the bot lane pairings for T1. Some of the stuff they like to play. Braum being banned out first phase is a little bit surprising to me, but maybe they just don't want to get Ashe Brahmed into a Nocturne comp, which I can somewhat understand, but still find it interesting. Nocturne ends up being first pick. It was first pick for G2. Now, my theory for playing against T1 is I think that T1's strengths have been owner on carries, and I would not give them Ori. I think that if you first pick Nocturne, it's really tough to pick Ori here, unironically. As Ori is someone that A, pairs well with Nocturne, and it would be nice to deny, but playing a Nocturne into Ori is quite good. And you can find combos with Nocturne to really try and punish the Ori, which can be big. So I like this because not only is that factor, but also we get owner onto Skarner, not on carries himself, which have been really good. So I actually don't hate the approach that G2 had, even though they might have caught in flack later on. Now, what T1 does well is they end up picking a comp that is really good into the Noc Ori combo. And how they do that is by range and then by Leona. I thought Leona was really big these two games for Keria because this has to dive. This is a rather short-range composition from G2. Leona gets a lot of value against people that are going to be dive bombing this backline. On top of that, Jin's really long range. You can play really far back as Jin if you want. Ahri has ways to try and outplay Noc Ori, even if it's hard. And then you end up having Skarner be really tanky and play good big interrupt. And then the Zeus Gragas, which has an insane win rate. It's a good game because you can divvy up the front and the back line when you do have the dive come in from G2, and it's a neutralizer for the Jax. So you're actually equipped to fight the 5v5. Jin being picked up. I liked Kai'Sa in the Relbans, especially if you want to play Jin. I really didn't like the Draven pick. I think Draven is a great pick for Hans Sama. I just don't know how you play the game into these 4 champions. I really don't. And then Naut is okay, especially for Draven helping with the lane, but I would have preferred... I think the Rel ban is smart because I think Mickey's just been playing like Rel or not, and that's just what he does. But I don't love the Naut here. So anyway. We're always making plans for Nigel. Have fun. Anyway, I don't know what that means. All right, Runes. Music reference. All right, Runes. I really like Butcher Jin. Jin abuses both of these points with his kit really well in terms of getting bonus AD scaling and bonus move speed scaling. And then this is so funny that it's not Final Life, it's Demolish Man. I Siba. If junglers are taking Demolish Man, I Siba. Red Tree second. One thing I did really like was the bone plating and overgrowth from Faker's Ahri in these games, because bone plating, you can control when it pops with Faker with Ahri and pressing R. But then also into this, bone plating actually gets legitimate value. I also really liked how Owner played this mid matchup. In terms of helping Faker, we'll talk about that in a sec. Jin Leona's strong lane, yeah. Jin Leona's good. I do think Merc Treads are quite good for G2. That's one bummer about T1's comp, but I don't know how much it matters. As Mickey goes for the late ward, and slash, maybe fucking with mid and gets caught. Now, Faker in this lane, he started Charm for that. He will get 2 on the first wave, which is nice because he started Charm. I really like what Owner does here, though, because if Ori and Ahri is played out in isolation, the Ori will win. But the way that they play it out here with Owner taking a pit stop after 3 camps in both games, they fuck with Caps enough, even when Caps plays the ganks really well, to actually open up a window for Ahri to like have TP prio and for T1 to play out early game. So I really like this from T1. I mean, this timer's like not even that great. Owner misses. Caps plays this very well. Caps cannot play this better, right? But it's still enough where they actually flip the lane early on for Ahri, which I really like from T1. Like, this is a lot of the theory that LCK had around Azir in Season 12, because Azir was a really dominant pick in the meta. They would take pit stops mid after 3 camps just to get Azir to E, because it costs so much mana, it would actually hurt him in the lane. He'd be mana starved. Alright, so again, it's a double crab for the Nocturne, so a Yikes game is fun. And doesn't matter. This time they hit the charm. Owner does not get the wallbang, though, which is big. And the E actually pulls Ori out of the second queue from Faker. I really like how Cap steps up there and gets the harass on a Faker. So that is nice, but still, I think the idea of flipping this Ori matchup is really strong. Meanwhile, Carry is going to go in and dies. He gets Dravened. Really well spaced by Hans. And he gets a kill on Draven, which is huge. I love this from Faker. Faker, by the way, he bluffs the base. Knows that he's out of vision, and then thinks that Caps, like, he just gambas this. Which I really like, because Caps is going to get this in, because like, oh, Faker base is going to TP back. Nope. So Faker gets same base. And yeah, Caps TP'd back with Treads, and Faker TP's back with Chapter. So really nice. Out of the replay, we end up with swaps. Zeus plays this so beautifully, man. I cannot. Like, this guy is just too good. The insta flash out, and then Hans being stuck in the creep wave, and then knowing he can tank this too, like, chef's kiss. Very, very good from Zeus, who is green tree, so second win actually worked overtime there for him. But yeah, just a beautiful play from Zeus. So the lead that they had topside, or bot side for G2, it was a Hans mistake. Yes, it was. But it is now gone. That said, still Grub's going over to G2, so that's pretty good for them. They can do some work with Grubs. With the Draven, so not bad. And then T1's going to send their bot lane down south, whereas Hans is top. So Hans should get work done on plates, but Zeus is really good wave clear as Gragas in this scenario. Yeah, for sure. He was too close and ended up beating Nocturne in the tower. That was quite bad. And yeah, the Karagas and the Leona can actually hold down to the fort here. And Jack should not be able to do anything against Guma. As long as the W hits. Jax would have to flash, and Skarner was on this side of the map, so it's okay for T1. Buzzsaw going around on Faker. Still, he's even in the matchup. Again, he did get a little bit of help. This is a matchup that Ori can win and go up CS, but because of the early ganks from Owner, secured Faker a really good chapter buy. And yeah, Faker's going to Dark Seal. So mid's in better shape than like what it would be if it's just the isolated 1v1 matchup-wise. Faker's in the side lane now. So he's going to go top, but he's going to drop waves. A couple of drop waves from T1 here to try and fight these next grubs. And this is the fight where I thought, like, this was actually pretty close for G2 because Faker jumps into Shockwave here. So he does catch a depth charge, and then he dashes in, he gets Shockwaved. I was really surprised this fight was as close as it was. Owner gets caps. So, I mean, the R from Owner is good because the Draven can't follow up. Or shit, no. Draven's following up. But they get caps. So that is good. And caps is a little bit lower on the mana. So Owner actually takes out caps, and then they get Hans Flash. And then Faker plays the rest of this fight beautifully. Yeah, this is so good from Faker. I thought that they were going to turn this, though, as like Mickey has the hook. It's really good. But Faker's Q bounces back. Goom is able to pick him up so he can clean up the rest of the grubs. Meanwhile, Zeus and BB just kind of hit each other back and forth. It was a really good opener for G2, and I think what G2 figured out throughout this series is that Ahri is actually catchable with the Nocturne Ori, and if they do so, then Ahri is killable with the combo. I think that's why Game 2 was closer. Yeah, I mean, bone plating value there, really high. Into the Noc Ori. And Faker's ahead. So Faker can go Lich Bane. And Lich Bane ends up being really good this game. I like this from G2. They're just going to overload top. They're going to TP in. This is LPL pilled. They're just going to sack Drake. They're just going to go play for Brick. Yeah, but then Jax economic victoried them in the end. I really like this ult from Zeus. Mickey got a little bit fucked here because the Q in just means that he dies. Yeah, like while this is all going on, I mean, Faker got bot, right? So bot was actually first brick. And then Faker's just going to keep on pushing. And the stall from T1 is a little bit too good. Because they get not for free. And then Faker nearly gets the inner. The fact the inner gets defended is nice for G2, but the way that T1 played around the knock, Ori was really good. Meanwhile, Zeus defending in the 2v1. Carry is just down here to hover, but like legitimately 4 people being down here doesn't super matter because of the Gragas, and then Zeus just games here. I mean, this is just ridiculously good from Zeus, man. And G2's not respecting Gragas for sure. But waves were all caught and evened up by T1. They got top in, and then Faker's down here to rotate and defend on this play. They get a great bop in the Jax. The 3-man Shockwave doesn't matter because it doesn't get either of the carries. And then they're fighting under the turret, so Caps takes 4 tower shots. Faker played this fight a little bit fast, but just didn't matter. Like, they still get 2 in the end. Yep. And I think this is what really fucks G2 in the rest of the game. Like, from here, it really felt like T1 just never let up with tempo. And the G2 comp kind of ran out of gas. Because they're going to knock down inner now, too. So it's just a huge win for T1. And then what happens, it's a Caps TP. And then the Blast Cone is just like, I don't know how Owner pulled this one off, but it's too good. And then they don't go get Faker. So then top falls too, and the way that T1 stretched the map in that was just too good. I think another big thing about this game is that, like, even though G2 can dictate the pace of the game with the Nock Ori and a lot of the engages, the Gragas is just so good on the defense, right? And in the next game, the G2, like, actually being able to dictate the fights versus the Viari, it was really whoever went in first won. Which I found kind of interesting between these two games. That was definitely something I was looking out for, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, this flash from Guma is so good. And again, like, the Nock Ori doesn't connect here. Ori is not hitting the priority targets, especially the Ari. As Faker's coming in. Zeus has a great cask here. This cask is so good. Because, like, when Guma flashes out, all of G2's split. Hans is isolated. And then Faker just bops him. Like, Carry is the one person that goes down. Yeah, like, the stall, the bop from Zeus and the angle from Faker was too good. Flash follow Jin. And what does BB chase Leona? Yike could have flash followed Jin, but the angle that Guma takes over this wall, the tether's already broken. So Yike would have had to be closer. I credit Guma for the flash. I also think that Yike is defending from this flash, right? But the Guma flash is, like, that's why I will credit Guma for this. Because Yike is defending from this. Because if he flashes that wall, he can flash follow and keep the tether going. But the fact that he flashes a really thick wall, and Yike's defending against that, he breaks it, which is really good. In terms of BB chasing Leo, okay, that's a very fair note. Leo is completely out of the fight and just irrelevant. That is very fair. I do think that, again, Gragas is just so valuable this game. I think everyone and their mother on the G2 comp just hates fighting against Gragas. 2 immobile carries and then 3 tanky frontliners that Gragas just gets to bop. And Zeus's Gragas is like, it was actually just next level this game. Anyway, map's neutral for T1. They're way up in items, which is big. Like, Zeus having the Frozen Heart and being close to the Fimbulwinter now is huge. By the way, Frozen Heart, Fimbulwinter, great combo, really abusable by Gragas. I love the build from Zeus this game. Like, he realized that if he goes Xerath's row, it would have taken a lot of time for him to come online. If he's just online early, he outscales regardless. Here they get everything on the Guma, which is quite nice. So, I mean, this was decent from G2, but again, like, once the Gragas enters the fight, it's just cooked. Good sidestep by Mickey, but he still goes down. And then Faker just gets to continuously pressure the Draven, who cannot really deal with the Ahri. So, I mean, good luck from G2, honestly. But, like, their sides are still fucked. Like, Faker fixed mid before he did this. Or fixed top before he did this, came in. Yeah, 4 treads for G2, very smart. Whereas it's steel caps for T1, pretty smart too. This game really is on Caps to carry. Like, Caps is the one person that I think can interact with all of T1 and like has to carry the game. It's not easy, but that is the one person. They completely chained up the Nautilus, so we can't even ult. Wow, that was really big, actually. But this is the one fight where like they actually found the Ahri with the combo. Nice from BB, and they one-shot Ahri. So again, I think that Ahri has to be the one that's found. Cast from Zeus is fucking perfect, by the way. It would have knocked Hans back, knocked Caps in. Caps flashes back, both get knocked back. They buy space. Zeus is too tanky. Let's play a slow fight with Jhin. That's what T1 wants to do. Yeah. Good combo from G2. Again, like, they're doing decently in terms of trying to play in the T1, but T1's too far ahead. At least that time they did find the Ahri. But, yeah, and then I think this is where things go weird. Yeah, it's a good engage from Keria. And this choke is just hard. Like, you can't walk through this choke against Gragas, who, again, has R back. And Fager's just making his way downtown. His Gragas is just so ridiculously tank. Like, yep, alley-oop. Okay, I got Caps flash last time. Uses flash to get Caps, and then they get yike from that. Fucking hell, man. Zeus is just a beautiful Gragas player. Zeus is one good fat bastard, man. I really wish in a Riot, broadcast, because I do love the Austin Powers movies, that I could just call good Gragas players the fat bastard. Yeah, I mean, G2 just cannot approach. Oh, really well played. Yep, a little bit too good from T1 here. BB getting out there is kind of crazy. This is a loop-de-loop to get out. Anyway, T1 also has Chem Soul, which is like makes Gragas even more ridiculously OP, as we're gonna see by Gragas TPing in 1v5 and living. I think with the Fimbulwinter and Gragas kit, you actually get a lot of benefit out of Chem Soul. And all of them want Steel Caps, and Chem Dragons give Tenacity, so like it actually helped out T1 a lot this game. I really want people to look at Chemtech situationally. And then yeah, this is just hilarious, guys. Good R from Zeus on the Hans. The big thing though is that Faker charms up Caps. I don't know how Faker weaved that one through, but that was crazy. And Caps couldn't follow up enough on Zeus. So yeah, T1 plot armored their way to victory. Zeus getting a Q down on Mickey is so funny. Dear Lord Almighty. Yeah, I mean, I think like fights and execution is better from T1 in this game. So, well done. Game. This is a little bit more one-sided. Game 2 was fun. Let's leave the draft up. Ooh, I want the bans. So drop Braum for Skarner ban going into game 2. That's the one adjustment being made. Game 2. Nocturne, because Skarner's taken away, it is now Ahri Vi, which is playable in the Nocturne. It is then the Ori and the Gnar. This is a good deny and a good swap up. Like, again, G2, they just want to change things up a little bit. They don't want to deal with the Gragas, so they do Jax. I think that Gnar and the Jax is actually good for Gnar. This isn't exactly a BB champ, but denying it from Zeus is good. I think this would have been Zeus' other answer for this game, which Gnar is doable. So it ends up being Jax for Zeus. And then the bans change a little bit, as because they have Vi and Jax, they take away Poppy again, but then it ends up being the Rel. And they let Kai'Sa through. Whereas the last game, sorry, it was just, they banned out Kai'Sa. Yeah, they feel like they have to ban Poppy, and I really can't blame them for that one. I think the Poppy ban's good. Keep in mind that Mickey was the first person that started playing the Poppy at MSI. And can definitely play Poppy support. And Poppy gets a lot of value this game. But the Kai'Sa getting through, I think, is a good change. And again, it's same bans coming out of... who did they... Oh, they banned Kench, so they still banned Braum. Yeah, they just don't want to deal with Ashe Braum, I think. Which I can't blame them for. So it's Jhin Leo again. I mean, again, Leo just gets a lot of value this game. Jin gets a lot of value. But I do think that T1 figured out, like, the Jax can economic victory later on with the scaling, right? But I do think that G2 somewhat figured out they can knock Ori combo, the Ahri. And that's why this game goes better, because Ahri ends up being squishy. They are able to get some good combos down to the Faker and T1, which do shift this game a little bit. Oh, shit. We gotta make sure that we do the runes. Karasnar this time around. Yep. Nox same. Ori same. Kai'Sa standard. Not. Whatever. Leo whatever. No blue tree on Guma this time around. Boo. I really like the I really liked what Guma did last game, actually. I think that's really good. But I think this time around he just wants more flashes. Maybe it has something to do against Kai'Sa. I don't know. But like maintain his flash timer. All right, they try to do the same thing this time. Mickey sees it, and then the stream gets a little drunk. That said, it's gonna be standard lanes. Zay's playing the skin that Ben's using on Jax. Bog. I mean, again, same thing. Ori matchup, trying to affect it early on. This is a tough matchup. I think Faker's Q is bad here. Yeah, his Q just whiffed. The fuck? Faker, come on. That hurts, actually. But still, like, the HP advantage, and then Faker denies the cannon from Ori. In isolation, this lane is Ori, but if you get jungle help, it can be flipped to the Ahri side. That said, Faker hunting for kill against Caps. Caps is level 2 and playing like really greedy. Faker's got to know that the jungler is coming. He still gets a flash out. Caps at least gets back to the wave, and then Faker's forced out himself. They're scared that Owner might be past the rivers, so that's all they take. But at least you like slow down Nocturne a little bit too. They're gonna go play for bot crab. Dex first to bot crab, he takes it. And then they do spot him, so there's a ping. Meanwhile, Owner looks for a play. Don't find anything. And he's going to go take wraps. This is a really good punish on the wrap respawn from Owner. Is it worth dropping both crabs? No, but, you know. Faker's going to need a base here pretty soon. So you can see he's just trying to queue the wave. And he just gets it in. Yeah, good job. And he does make it back. Anyway, this time around, Keria gonna look on the Mickey. They missed the root, but they get a really nice trade. Leona just kind of stat checks you early. Good sidestep by T1. Yeah, T1's lane's going well. Again, Jin Leo, I think very winning lane against Kai'Sa not. Leo stat checks you and Jin outranges you. I will say that I think that Gnar can out-econ Jax in this matchup a little bit. Like, we've seen it. Gnar should be up CS, but I do think that Zay has kept up a little bit more against BB than what he should have had. Anyway. Really sweet by Keria here. He actually eats the hook. And so they get Aftershock off Nautilus. As Owner's gonna hop in. BB finds a nice trade. There's no Q on Owner. Owner does baby Q to get out. So, I mean, they get a little bit here. Like, they get Guma Flash, but not enough. And then Mickey, keep in mind, no Aftershock. So, Keria goes. They kind of layered the charm in the root, so it's not everything that T1 wanted. And then Caps being in this lane alone against Jax is, I mean, it's not terrible. BB's getting really starved out, but no one's on mid-wave in general, so. This is actually why the Jax ended up keeping up with an R. Like, this sequence right here. So, I mean, I do think it's good from T1, because, again, Gnar, like, you need to push your weight around with Gnar on the Triforce timer, like, in this matchup. Before that, too. So, I think that like this was a little bit like this sequence from T1. I know it's 3 grubs for G2 and that's quite nice, but the fact that Gnar got starved out a bit and Zeus is now up, a little bit of farm is I think nice. Yeah. Mm. Just Drake. Okay. Yeah. We have. Why does Yike stall here? I mean, unironically, like this is the wave where Yike should be on Dragon. I think Yike needs to skip Raptors. Oh, Raptors gave him 6. Okay, never mind. Fuck it. He still gets 6 from Crab. Owner would have 6 though, and Mickey's here to cover. And they do see bot lane top, so I still kind of want Yike to skip this. Why does he go up to Gromp? Oh no. Okay. Oh. Oh, so the T1 bot lane canceled their bases. Yeah, I think that they do drop Dragon, usually, if the T1 bot lane, like, finishes that base, and then Zeus goes up. So I can't blame Yike for... I do think that in the once T1 shows again, because they showed here, that he should drop Raptors and just do Crab. But he doesn't have mid prio, so they do have to fix the wave. So, again, it's fine. And doesn't have bot prio. But he does have Mickey prio. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. He gets... I think he kind of putzes around this, though. Like, I think he plays this really slow, because he kind of allowed for T1 to get back. I don't know exactly what I think about that sequence, but I think that Yike could have been a little bit more decisive about doing the camps for sure. Just because like he had Mickey covering him, and the bot lane was late in the reset for T1 from topside. In terms of dropping the dragon, I'm fine-ish. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Carry's got 6. Guma's off a fresh base. Fine. Caps has to fix mid. It's fine. Good timer for T1. All right. Mickey gets spotted going into the pit. It's a good hidden ward from Carrier. That controller doesn't spot it. Yeah. Carrier hides it. And ends up leading to a kill. Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice. And they give it to owner. So you might argue that like going to Ari is good because I mean A, Ari carry, B, Darksteel sacks. I actually really like it going to owner here because my idea as to how the T1 comp wants to play out is we use the Vi Ari and the Vi Jax to attack sides because sides are really winning with the Vi for T1 because you can attack Mininar and then go attack Ori is somewhat immobile with his combo. So I really think that this is pretty good. The fact that owner gets it and owner like crushes the map in the next like 3-5 minutes. Zeus just fucking gamed BB here. BB's trying to cut the wave. Owner came straight down here. This is a really sick call from T1. Like, they don't spot knock until now. Like, yeah, Zeus completely just botched. Or, like, fuck this play. And then owner keeps up. T1 looks much better now than in playoffs. Wow. Scorching hot take there. Yeah, no, T1 shaped up. And the meta is better for them, right? Like, they're playing utility bot with, like, Faker can play Ori. Owner gets to play some carries. Not every game is a lane swap with, like, these weird-ass picks. It's definitely better for T1. Faker bought so much time and space here. Bone plating value, again, goes crazy. And then the Yikes stuck, and I was like, oh boy, it's game. Yeah, again, owner just scorches the map here in these couple minutes. It's a reaction, not a hot take. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a nice meme, you know? Nah, T1 looks good. T1, like, the crazy part about this tournament is that I feel like two of the biggest question mark teams were LNG and T1 in terms of what form they'd have. And if both teams, like, if you told me today that either team won Worlds, I would not be surprised at all. Yeah, they did have a lot of moments where they have 1 HP. This is really good. Zeus kind of fucked this one up. So you can see picture in picture. There's a dive that goes on the Zeus. I don't exactly know how I'm supposed to play this. I think the big thing is I like trying to find a way to ult. Like, if he jumps in and maybe he can R2, that would be valuable. He also had a ward. Oh yeah, he did burn flash late. Like, you can't really react flash this R though from BB, so this R is good. I think the hook would have caught the minion either way, I'm gonna be honest. Anyway, regardless, good play. They find mini. Yeah, Mickey's on the rotation, so they have to give the turret. Well, a good use of 6 scrubs here from G2. Like, the top play failed, but they're able to answer this. The big thing, though, while all this is going on, again, we have a scenario where BB is splitting resources and time, and Zeus just TP's top, gets his own lane. Again, if the Gnar versus Jax, like, we've seen Bin play this matchup and go down 15, 20 CS in the Gnar, I think that's standard. I really do. The fact that Zeus is ahead of the curve, like, what ends up happening in this game is that Jax just economic victories with Mountain Soul. So it is a big deal that Jax keeps on getting shit. And then, yeah, like, this is on. I love this play from Owner, man. Owner spotted here. I don't know why BB hung around this entire time. Oh, I mean, BB just gets cut off here. Never mind. Okay, yeah. I T1 just go hunt the Gnar. They go sack the dragon. They hunt the Gnar, and again, like, they do a good job of focusing on the Jax. Really well done from Zeus here. I think he ward hopped and got the cancel in. Yeah, before T1. Yep, that's fed over to Jax. They drop Dragon, but it's just a Chemtech, and they can trade out Herald and deny the 6 Scrub Herald, so pretty nice. I mean, T1's map play has just been so damn good this tournament. Like, I think that where they're allocating their resources and then how, like, they're greeting shit on map, it's so good. Oh. And Mickey spotted on the ward here, so Faker hits one. Weeby, another one over to Jax. Now, credit to G2. They did put their way back in. I think that Kai'Sa helps this comp a little bit because it gives them a little bit more late game. And Kai'Sa can actually follow up on the knock Ori and pump the tanks. It's quite big. And this was an oopsie. Like, Zeus has no flash, and there's, like, all of... We just get super suck. Owner also misses the fucking Herald. Yeah, so Zeus and Keria both get caught. And then Hans gets out. I think Hans gets out. Oh. No, Hans goes down, but he at least bought time. Sorry, the fan cam was on. So, I mean, the shutdown's going over. That's big. T1 sticking around, taking away the camps. Good. See, like, that's shit I wish I could watch, man. Like, how teams play out their plays and, like, what they take is really big. You learn a lot from a team with that. Bin played the Seekers into Zeus's Gnar in this matchup. And it looks like Zeus is copying the build. While it's going on, funnel on the Ori. We haven't really seen the Nock Ori combo hit yet. Caps does have early Seekers to try and avoid the Vi-Ari combo. So he's going to be a little bit less upfront damage, but they need to do this to kind of defend against the combo because he's going to be the target. T1 are going to overload bot. They got... Top was in. They got mid in. They overload bot. They take it. So even against 6 grubs, like, they're ahead of the play. And then just putting Ari mid. Ari should be able to defend. Like, unless it's a flash R, which Bikini doesn't have access to, onto Ari, you should always be able to react and defend yourself. Also, wave clear from Ari is good. So defends mid, goes to defend top, catches a little bit late, but guess what? Nothing real goes down. Caps is overextended. They send in Zeus, and it's an overload, and T1 are just playing sides way better than G2. So man, G2 has actually done really well in their Yone comps in some of their games so far at Worlds, so. Oh no. Oh wait, this is actually big. All right. Dragon's coming out. And then they just go on the Jin, which, like, Jin gets to play too far back, and then Guma just gets to press R, so I don't like this. And then BB is Mega, so he does get an R off, which is nice, but then he goes mini immediately, and then gets kind of chunked by Faker. Faker just walks right past the knot, which I find very funny. I really love how Faker played that, though. Like, he bought a lot of space for his team, and just guarantees the Drake pickup. That was interesting. Faker goes and clears top. I mean, T1, like, the amount of waves are picking up and how well they're playing. Again, really, really good stuff from T1. G2 looked to see if Faker was going to play one more. I actually like this. There's nothing else on the map for G2 to do, so I don't mind them playing like this. I think it's fine. Because they're going to force T1 to respond to that wave, and they don't need to respond to bot waves at all. Because their towers are just non-existent. So they can wait for it to go all the way into their base before they respond. I mean, the way that G2 played their way back into this game from this state is pretty surprising. But you took a screenshot of this, like where G2 was with 3 inhibs down. If they yoink Baron with 3 inhibs down, like, I really feel like they win the game. Unfortunately, Owner yoinked it. Owner's just been too good, man. The Zanyas is really nice from Jax here, but we finally get a scenario where Guma doesn't have flash and does get feasted upon by the Nocturne. And then Faker fucks up this play. So this is the one winning fight, or the first winning fight for G2. I think we go a little bit early as Zeus, looking back. Because he eats a lot of damage from caps. Oh, man. I really like this flash from Mickey, by the way. He's trying to catch the charms. And this charm goes to BB. Ooh, I actually think Faker could play this better. Zeus also missed the E flash. Yeah. Yeah, he E'd before he flashed, so Caps gets out and Hans gets out. And then Faker dashes into melee range. So I think if Faker plays this a little bit slower and Carry is a little bit more connected, by the way, it's fine. This for Carry is fine. But I think Carry has got to... If they wait for their CDs and Faker plays this a little bit slower, I think it's fine. Because he has a charge back and he just ults into their face. I think that he has to play to space a little bit. Or like use it to maybe dodge out of the hook or wait for Carry to actually get sums up where they can chain things together again. If not, then the play's over. Yeah, G2 turn it. I think that Zeus went in a little bit early. The setup from the fight from G2 ended up being really good. Also, the Storm Surge from Faker this game instead of Lich Bane. I don't exactly know why he swapped things up. I really like the Lich Bane. I think the part of it was that Draven's immobile, and you can use the Lich Bane to always get autos on the Draven and kill him. This time around, Kai'Sa is mobile, so maybe they just want even more upfront damage with the Vi. I don't know. Either way, I would like the Lich Bane, actually. Yeah, and then we have another fight here where right out of replay, like Faker's caught. So I feel like they kind of realize that they can go play for Faker first, and that Ahri's killable with the Ahri Nocturne combo, and then Carry dies for the sins of the squad. Yeah, so good fight by G2. I don't know why T1's up here. I mean, yes, Faker gets one shot, but like I really wish we could have seen like how and why Faker's that far up with the lads. I know they have a 4v3, and I see Carry his flashes down. Maybe we get a replay of this. I don't remember getting a replay of this though. Yeah, I really wish I had a replay it. Oh. Yeah, he didn't quite let the Nocturne hit. Oh, I guess he did before he art out. Just the timing was good from Cap stem. Okay, that was a really ambitious look from Faker. Again, the Kai'Sa against the Ahri versus the Draven against the Ahri, a significant difference and much easier for the Kai'Sa to play out. So again, good adjustment. T1, they traded the Poppy ban for letting Kai'Sa through like that. Was the choice made. Like this fight, the Jax is just way too far up. And the Shockwave is really good again. Caps leaves it behind him. Finds two. And then Hans is able to get out. Now, Faker... Oh, I think this backhook from Faker is actually what fucks him. I don't know what he's backhooking here, because I think that if he stays up, then he could have gotten Hans before he's able to R. Maybe. And then eats full damage from BB, who's played that really well. And then, I mean, this backhook I can kind of respect. But again, there's nothing else up for BB, actually. If Faker plays further up, because he's going for the combo on Yike, and if he gets Yike, then he gets another R back, so I can't... But he misses it, and then he goes down. Yeah, I think Faker definitely misplayed that there. He missed space. I think he missed space a couple things. I think that was doable for Faker. Anyway, G2, they need to wait for the lads so they can get the Baron. They skip out on the Dragon to take the Baron. Do we like that? They could knock down inners with this and help a lot with their econ. They do drop the Mountain Dragon for this, which I think hurts their comp because they have a shotgun comp. And Mountain Dragons against the shotgun comp, always good. You can see in the replay, T1 took the Drake. Just having the bonus resistances to deal with the knock Ahri combo, best Drake that you can draw in this scenario for T1. And I think that looking at the map state here for G2, I'm a little bit surprised they skipped over the Dragon. I know Baron's big, that can knock down some stuff, but I do think it's important to deny Dragons from T1. I think that like that ended up biting them in the ass really bad. Because their comp, like keep in mind, their comp cannot end the game with sieging. Like, the Kai'Sa just cannot siege against RE, Jin, Vi. It's brutal, right? So I really feel like they should have grabbed the Mountain Dragon there. Good poke from Hans. The really nice part about the Kai'Sa instead of the Draven in this scenario too is that when you do get the 3 items on Kai'Sa, like we're at now, you do have a range advantage against T1. So that can really help get you some favorable conditions and set up an Ori Nocturne combo that actually leads to kills. Also, level's really big right now for G2. Faker going down in the last 2 fights got him really starved out in the game. Like, look at the levels for Hans and Caps against Faker and Guma. It's really big. We still have to be wary of the economic victory jacks, though. He did go Wit's End this game, which I think is quite good. He's very tanky. He gets tenacity from that, too. All right, G2 have tops. We're just going to play mid-bot. It's all good. This is where... So, a lot of these fights, like we've seen G2 dictating the fights on their terms with the knock Ori, right? The other big one where you can dictate fights on your own terms is via Ari. It's a really sound combo. And the few front to backs we've seen G2 take have been good for them. But this time around, there's 2 wards that are missed by G2 on the way in. And T1's going to use a TP to break this. So Zeus is TPing back. The BB ult's really not that great. And they get to do this off a Mega Timer. And Hans gets chunked because he's trying to hit the turret. And again, Kai'Sa tough is sieging. So Owner waits. He eats the R. And then Zeus just gets the fattest fucking start of the fight on the Hans. And Hans can't move. Yeah, I think Hans had to go golden earlier. I know it's tough because, like, if you go golden immediately, then you'll get counter-striked out. But Hans just took way too much damage at the start of this fight. And so the fight's already too good for T1. Like, regardless of what Hans does, if he gets out or not, it's just not good enough. And they end up losing 3. And this one gets fed over to Faker. Faker also went death cap this game. And then they stall. Guys, this is really, really smart from T1. This is Overwatch tactics. If you space death timers, it's good. Dragon's up in, 57 on my screen. And Mickey's death timer ends up being like 40 seconds to this point of the game. Just by stalling out here, like... Yeah. 42 seconds? So it's a 10-second difference on the Dragon. And again, T1 realizes that they can't pick up Soul. Really big for them this game, so they go fix their wave. And the angle is just really good. Hans just took too much damage. I think Hans stepping up for this turret was honestly the big mistake. Him and Caps. They're playing way too hard for this. Caps took so much damage here too. From the Shiv. And then he takes tower shots. Oh, that hurts. Yeah. Caps and Hans fucked up a little bit. Fuck. Damn, that hurts. Good punish by T1. 2 tower shots. Or 3 tower shots between 2 carries from the looks of things there. Then that's Mountain Soul. Good kill on the Zeus here. Zeus still takes a while to die, but really nice. Because that gets him 2 more inhibs. So I like the answer from G2. Zeus was split on the approach here. I wonder if Zeus could have played this better. Can't really see. My pet peeve is the replays going too long, man. Like, for VoD reviews, it really is. But I am a purist in that case. The coach cams are fun. I love the coach cams, but if we miss critical info, then I'm not a fan. Like, for me, how Zeus approaches there, that's a really big fight. That's critical info. Anyway, Zeus still down 15 seconds, so G2, yes, they lose Dragon. But they have 2 inhibs down. If they snag Baron, it's fine. Just no one marks the Vi. How can we keep Vi out? A ward over the wall, which... I mean, Mickey has a control ward. Control ward, he drops. over the wall to try and find owner, which I somewhat respect. They just don't find owner. Oh, wait, no, they see owner there. Dude, where is the R? Mickey's got to press R. Mickey just has to press R. Like, he has to start with R. Especially like as owner's over the wall, you arm here. So I think that's the oopsie. You just got to arm there. And it's the best death of all time for owner. Best use of GA possible. Run away, run away, run away. Hold on. Let me try that in the game. I mean, again, this is where bone plating and Mountain Soul is so big for Faker, because he's going to just go in, take a chunk on the Caps. Caps ends up walking into Solar Flare. He gets a nice Shockwave off, but Zeus follow-up's too good. Caps goes down early in the fight. He goes golden. And then Jax is just too big. Jax is the one thing that can deal with Kai'Sa later on, like, really, really well, and Jax is just so big. And yeah, the Nars can outscale at this point. It really has to be a game on the Kai'Sa and the Ori, and Caps got chunked out early that time. Man. Looking back through the VoD, Caps didn't play as well as I thought he did, which is a bit of a bummer for me. Big Caps fan. I mean, really significant, though, that T1 stole the Baron, because they are down triple inhibs now. So if these were Baron-empowered creeps in G2's favor, the odds they were able to break a Nexus turret significant. Like, I mean, this isn't a super wave, but they could have waited for super waves instead of trying to force. I think G2 definitely forced too hard. There's no doubt about that. I'm fine with them taking this, by the way. I guess owner's dead. But, like, they really decided to flip the game here, you know? This was a really fun game. 10 being Prime Faker, 1 being an NA mid. Where do you rate Caps' play this game? I don't know. Probably like a, I mean, what were the Hooper ratings for Caps? I'm giving Caps like a 5.5, honestly. Maybe not that low. Maybe like a 6, but yeah, I guess they're just trying to go on a, I really like how Faker dictated that. Again, if they're the ones picking the engage, it's good. Like, Faker going golden there and not getting thrown back into the team was really significant. And then he gets a reset on his ult, so he's able to keep on fighting. And Faker played that fight really well. It's really tough to end the game. Like, Mountain Soul is just a fucking game breaker, man. Mountain Soul is just a fucking game breaker. If anyone wants to look at or like can find the Hooper ratings, I would be curious what they rated G2 in this series. I'd say I'd rate owner as highest player. I think Faker's scoreline was really good, but I think the Faker just kind of played meh. Faker threw out his ult there. I mean, this is optimistic from Faker, but if he does get Caps, like, or does get a flash from Caps, it's big, right? I mean, his ult's on like a 35-second cooldown probably at this point, so. Also, Ahri Kai'Sa, or Ahri Wave Clear, quite good. Shiv Jin at this point, fine. BB gets super chunked. BB fucked that up a little bit. Again, these chunks are expensive, especially if you don't have TP. Yeah, Faker's gonna TP behind. Faker does have ult back up as he lands. So, like, literally second Faker lands, he can't ult. And yeah, like, because of Faker and the placement here, the Nocturne Ori doesn't get to play the fight the way they want to, because the Nocturne tries to follow up, and Caps did not get the ball on him. So Caps is trying to hold the line, so G2 just are not able to find it. So now G2's plan is to reset and try and play the map out before Elder, but T1 got 2 inhibs back on this timer, which was really significant for them, because now they don't have the the double super minion waves, and also they only have one wave that has supers now, which is, I mean, very manageable. I really like the fact that Owner flashed here. I know flash is valuable, but he didn't burn an engage spell to get out or anything like that. He just got the fuck out, and it was fine. And then this is just too sick. The blast cone into the insta R, and then Faker just charms and kills him before he lands. So, really tough for Caps here, but like, he would have had his Zanyas immediately, like after the solar flare landed. Like, it's kind of a hard window, and I don't think he can see it. I guess he has ball down. Like, they kind of have vision, but I don't. Yeah, he just didn't press Zanyas. It's a really sick angle from Faker and Owner. And then Owner finds Hans next, and Hans gets tapped by Guma. Yeah. The way that T1 played this is just too good. BB was stacking up Mega, so he's not here yet. I do think that G2 are too far up for not having BB here. But I can see them wanting to play this pocket, or why they want to play this pocket. I think they have to give this. I think they have to wait for BB. Also, the Hansalt was really early. I can understand wanting to get out of Faker's way, but he kind of fucked himself here. Up too far, yes, because of the Viari. In the 4v4 with Gnar is someone that holds the front line. Like, he's someone that can try and help slow down the follow up from the Viari combo from the rest of the team, right? Can you stop that? No. Can you stop the rest of the team? Yes. He gets here at the same time as Zeus. Like, if they play back and connect with Gnar, then they do actually have 5v4 advantage. So yeah, they're too far up. And yeah. G2 feels like they gotta stick around, but they cannot. And they're gonna give, yeah. Because he needs to be frontline? No, it's a tough one for Mickey. Where does Mickey? Yeah, but I think Mickey actually has the right idea. I think they sack this and they play back. I think Mickey is on, like, they just play out. Like, they have mid and bot push right now. So if they play out, like, I mean, T1 is responding. It's gonna lead to a fight regardless, but yeah, so like Mickey is in the wrong spot for the fight, but like all G2's in the wrong spot, you know? It's a poor setup. And then guess what, guys? Jax versus Gnar. The Jax at this item, like, build / breakpoint, like, I mean, we've been joking about the economic victory Jax, but this is truly economic victory Jax. If you're level 18 and you have these items, like, good luck fucking dying, man. No one is killing this guy. Anyway, it's double monster buff. And they get caps again. This time it's Jax. And then Faker has a really nice angle. Preemptive flash into the R from Faker too. Just very good. Get down Hans, and that's it. Alright, guys, that's T1 G2. Congrats to T1. I thought T1 I think T1's playing a really fucking good league right now. The meta looks good for them. Owner is fisting people, literally and figuratively, if he's on Vi or not. And like, Faker's actually playing well. T1's playing map beautifully. I think T1's in really good shape right now. So we'll see if anyone throws them off their game and who draws them in quarters. Honestly, I would not want to draw them in quarters. I'm going to say that. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in this VoD review, guys. It's been Swiss Day 7, G2 versus T1. If you guys enjoy the content, drop a sub. We're going to be reviewing everything for Worlds. Likes and comments help the channel a lot. Follow me everywhere at CubbyXX. Until the next one, we'll see you guys later.